Yeah, here's my Hasbro Power Rangers collection so far, including a few Beast Morpher figures that I have on the shelf that I've had for a while until I get the rest of Beast Morpher's toy line, particularly action figures only, because it just goes to show that, yeah, I have been keeping up on this stuff while I'm still doing my fan film stuff and whatever, but I gotta talk about something that's very discerning in the fan base. Something that's kind of caught my attention, but I said I was not going to do this anymore. So it has come to my attention based on some comments and stuff that's been going on in the fan base, Ranger fandom. There was something that I was hearing about in terms about the Illuminerdi, and I really didn't want to do this video, but I have to as a Power Rangers fan, because it's like I'm trying to like slowly withdraw from this, but okay, I have to do this because I know there are people who haven't heard from me in some time because of the fact with my struggles and with more than 7 days of quarantine now for me. But from what I've heard from the with Power Ranger fans calling out the Illuminerdi for a clickbaity source that they got this about Hasbro cutting ties with Toei, about them no longer doing no more new seasons of Power Rangers after Dino Fury and Beast Morphers, which, see, this is the thing. This is why I don't really talk about a lot of these articles and stuff about these people or the people that are associated with the fan base with these rumors and news speculations. And also I'm one of the few Power Ranger YouTube channels that has stopped following news about the series, but hearing about this is very concerning, because recall that last time I called out Michael Louie of Power Rangers Now, even though that guy's already gone, thank God. But the Illuminerdi, these guys really need to stop with the clickbaity stuff about Power Rangers and if there's no source about Hasbro cutting ties with Toei, then how are they going to produce Power Rangers by taking source material from the following Super Sentais to adapt in the Power Rangers? Without Sentai, there wouldn't be no more Power Rangers. And without Power Rangers, Super Sentai wouldn't exist anymore, would not exist anymore up to this point, as I was about to say. So I don't know where the heck these guys are getting the source from about, Hasbro ending their contract with Toei. What it should have been is like Hasbro ending their contract with Nickelodeon, because we're going on almost, next year will be 10 years since Power Rangers has been on Nickelodeon. And if that was news about that, I would be like happy about that. But with the whole Hasbro and Toei thing, that's false. And especially I call that false, because I have a lot of my Facebook friends and stuff who are also Power Ranger fans and Sentai fans, Toku fans in general. When they heard about this news, yeah, they even called it out fake, because the Illuminerdi, okay, I've been following these guys for I don't know how many years now, ever since when we had all that news about that 2017 movie and stuff again, and then I'm also hearing news about something related to Hasbro's Power Rangers movie, which I said I made it clear I'm not following no more news about anything Power Rangers. I will get some of the stuff that comes out when it happens, but I'm just not going to do a bunch of videos talking about it. Because the thing is, if you guys should know, based on the state of where I am on YouTube and in the fan base, I'm kind of burnt out following a lot of news about Power Rangers and Sentai. I mean, yeah, it's nice that some of this stuff is coming out, and maybe some of this stuff is not coming out or not. And I'm to the point where, as a fan, I'm just one of those Power Ranger fans now, to the point that I've been on YouTube and stuff for almost 8 years, and I've been doing the same thing for 8 years, going on 9 years, 10 years, whatever, to the point I don't really care for this anymore. But it's just specifically the Illuminerdi needs to stop with the clickbaiting. They need to stop getting these false sources and then post a bunch of videos about it and on other platforms on the internet, because this is going to get them in a lot of trouble, and then there's going to be a bunch of firestorm of criticism coming from people vocal enough to get on them for that. Because even I even saw Bruno's video about that, Bruno from MMPR Toys' video about that just 2 days ago. And even he had claimed that the whole thing that they brought about Hasbro no longer having Toei to help out with new Sentai adaptations of Power Rangers is false. Because even though, also another thing, I'm not looking forward for Dino Fury personally, because after I see Beast Morphers, I'm at this point, for me as a Power Rangers fan, even though I like what Hasbro is doing with the show, but I'm not that big of a hoopla fan with the comics and all that stuff right now with anything Power Rangers. Even though I have been collecting some of the Lightning collection, but I'm just at to the point where I'm kind of slowly distancing myself from this franchise with all this news and rumor stuff always keep popping up every day as a Power Rangers fan. And it's been happening to me with that ever since Super Mega Force, Dino Charge, something like that, and when I was doing my personal Power Ranger thing. So I'm just at to the point where I just don't really care about the new stuff anymore. But it's just simply the Illuminerdi, but it's just, again, Illuminerdi, those guys on that site, and also their YouTube channel and stuff, they need to stop spreading the lies, because it's going to get them in trouble eventually. And I don't care if you're getting this from a certain secondhand, third party, or whatever source, that needs to stop, because you keep putting that stuff out there, everything is going to implode. This is why I no longer want to follow stuff about Power Rangers, although I know what's happening and what's coming out, but I don't want to keep spending most of my time on YouTube and into my third decade of my existence and my first full decade of YouTube doing the same old thing I've been doing since I was in my 20s, because this stuff has got to stop. Because you should tell that from the tone of my voice, I'm really burnt out from this stuff. And I'm not saying that I don't care about Power Rangers. I care about Power Rangers. But in the Hasbro era, this is not like the Neo Saban days where I had to do a bunch of ridiculous amount of videos and stuff and calling out Saban and stuff, all that. I mean, that's over with for me. But with Hasbro, again, how is Power Rangers going to survive without Sentai footage also? Because, again, like I said before, without Sentai, there wouldn't be no Power Rangers. Without Toei, Hasbro, and even previously Saban would never adapted any newer seasons. Even though we have a few unadapted Sentais that I would love to see as Power Rangers. I mean, for instance, Kill Ranger. I mean, even though I'm going to use something of theirs if I could afford it, because, again, during quarantine, I'm still, struggling, trying to finish off my last Power Rangers fan film of that personal thing. But even though specifically I would love to see if they would have did Q Ranger, but it makes sense for them to do the recent Sentai of Rue Soldier as Dino Fury, because, again, even though dinosaurs are hot on Hasbro's head, they're not ready to do Ninja Rangers or a new team of car-themed Rangers or vehicle-based Rangers, Animal Rangers. Because dinosaurs are all the rage right now on Hasbro, because we just had Beast Morphers, and I know a lot of people online have seen that Dino Ranger crossover internationally before it would air here in the States on Nickelodeon. And of course, I keep running into spoilers because people just won't stop spreading spoilers online about it. Because what if, when I do get into this episode with my own fresh point of view, something tells me it's not going to be as good as the Kyuryoger crossover they did with Zoo Ranger and Appa Ranger. Because even though as much as I liked seeing Austin St. John back as Jason as the original Red Mighty Morphin Ranger and all in the 4 Dino Charge Rangers that appeared, like Tyler and Ivan and them, but I just want to wait until when I've seen it without running into spoilers, because even though people are already posting photographic spoilers that happen in the international airings instead of the official airings, because that's the thing with Power Ranger fans. Because I will do an update video what's happening with me personally after this, but it's specifically this kind of stuff with the Illuminerdi needs to come to a stop. Because if they keep on posting clickbaity things about Power Rangers, see, this is what annoys me. And even though I still have friends of mine that are a part of the fandom, but they don't care about what I would have to say about it, because they think they believe in some of that stuff that may happen with the new movie coming out, or a new season, or Hasbro no longer needing Toei to produce Power Rangers anymore. But, like, why would they want to do that? Because even though, this is why I never supported the Illuminerdi, but at one point I did subscribe to their YouTube channel not so long ago, but thanks to this news, I decided not to follow them on YouTube or anywhere on any platforms like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, because, and especially every time I keep seeing clickbaity stuff about Power Ranger movies, they keep using the images of that piece of shit 2017 movie to make a point, even though, yeah, we don't have any new information. You know, yeah, there are some new information about that Hasbro movie where it's going to likely be out in time for the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, because look, Power Rangers is just as old as me. I was only less than a year ahead of the franchise since I started in '93, and with them talking, you know, posting stuff about the movie that Hasbro and Paramount is going to put out whenever it does between now and 2023. I mean, I don't really care for this movie. I think after everything that's happened with that 2017 movie, I mean, I can care less about this new Power Rangers film. You guys can go ahead and, you know, be hyped about this and be excited for it. But for me, I'm going to stick doing whatever on my channel that's every now and then on again, off again with Power Rangers. Every now and then on again, off again, whatever on YouTube. Because I'm at the point where I'm just exhausted with rumors because the rumors may not be true. If the rumors would be true, I would believe it. But if the rumors are false, then I'm going to know something. Because I'm really sick and tired of it. It was already enough. Every time I heard about stuff from Power Rangers now when Michael Louie was involved with that, I don't know why people fall for that clickbait stuff. I mean, well, that's the internet for you. Because when you got this kind of news imploding, you know, Power Ranger fans, see, that's the thing. This is one of the reasons why I'm kind of withdrawing from the fandom now. Is because, you know, of course, yeah, the comics are great and all. The Lightning collection is great. And then all the stuff we had before Hasbro with the Bandai and Saban stuff last decade. You know, of course, you know, people don't care about what I'm doing now because I've been withdrawn lately. And I've been doing my own thing now to the point. But again, they just really need to stop with the stuff. So that's all I have to say, guys. I mean, I say it's false because how is Power Rangers going to survive without, you know, Sentai footage every season? Even though, yeah, the comics, they do their own thing expanding on the series, but I'll do a debunked opinion on the comics when I have time. But if I don't, I'm just getting really sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of hearing about these rumors. I'm sick and tired of hearing about all these lies from people like the Illuminerdi because, and even like with We Got You Covered. Even with Got You Covered is another clickbaity thing on the internet. They post the same things over and over and over about Power Rangers, and like they, you know, that's all they care about is clicking and wanting money for these articles. So because, and I thought in this world with these fake news things, like I thought, you know, social media sites like Facebook and stuff would eliminate any fake articles and fake news stuff, because if the stuff is fake, it's fake. I mean, you're just posting this stuff just to get Power Ranger fans, you know, half of the spectrum to get all excited about it, and then you got half of the spectrum of the fan base that don't believe in that shit because you guys only care about money and views and clickbait, just getting people's hopes up. I mean, I did that shit once, but I learned not to do that shit anymore. You know, because that shit can get people all mixed up if this is official, if this is real or not. And this is why people are not going to fall for that no more. So, guys, that's all I can say. I'm burnt out. I'll talk about something else. I mean, I'm glad that people, you know, wanted to reach out to me and hear what I had to think of it. But at this point, I'm really, really tired of the stuff that's going on in this fan base to the point. And knowing the fact, I've been in the Power Rangers fan base since I was 18 years old, you know, as just an up and rising adult Power Ranger fan back in 2010, but back when I was a very unknown nobody. But now that it's been 10 years later for me, it's like, I don't think I've really made a breaking point at all because I've struggled to make it. But to the point now, this is getting really exhausting. And this is even worse when I hear news like this for like the MCU and the DCU and stuff and other franchises that have all their clickbaity stuff. And I'm tired of it because, well, that's the internet, you know, and that's why I've been staying away from stuff like this because it's overwhelming for me to cope, and it's overwhelming for me to keep up with all this news, to the point I'm tired of news. And I've made a vlog about that years ago about, you know, news that may be official, news that's just rumors and speculation and conjecture. Because I don't fall for that stuff. And even gossip. I mean, imagine all the gossip and stuff and you know, breaking NBAs we've had within the Power Rangers fan base about certain actors or certain seasons or what's happening with the series or about the show getting canceled. And also, a video I saw of theirs not so long ago about his Power Rangers getting canceled long before this Hasbro and Toei cancel, stuff. The whole Power Rangers. Yeah, I understand. Power Rangers has been in a rough spot since RPM ended and when we got Samurai almost 10 years ago. Basically, I had already lost interest in Power Rangers. Even I still watch the older episodes just for nostalgia's sake. And I have been watching Beast Morphers. I finally, at the time of this, I had caught up on season 1. I'm only on 1 episode or so of season 2 because I just don't want to go into that Dino Ranger team up with everybody spoiling the whole episode of that, because that's another thing that's wrong with the fan base. They're always putting out spoilers for me to, end up seeing that, because that's what's wrong with the internet today, because they put out this stuff for me to get upset with some people and I have to cuss them out or block them, and then I just get mad for a few weeks. And it aggravates me. So that's another thing, because when the Illuminerdi posted a live stream a couple of weeks or months or so ago about his Power Rangers getting canceled, and they posted something like that back when Beast Morphers was on the air and stuff like, season 1 of Beast Morphers, I mean. And when they did that, I mean, I'm gonna fall for that shit? Yeah, the show has been in a rabbit hole ever since the Neo Saban era, and ever since the last decade when, those who were kids of the 90s and early 2000s have now grown up to be adults in their 20s and 30s, like I have. And knowing I'm going to be turning 30 in 2 years, from less than 2 years from now, and to the point I can care less about this, because I don't believe in that stuff. I mean, sure, I believed in some of that stuff they were putting out for that movie, the 20th anniversary, 25th anniversary, and all that jazz. And Bandai, the stuff with Bandai calling it quits with the toys was true. Hasbro buying the franchise, that was true. I mean, everything else lately is just rumors, conjecture, and speculation. So, again, I think I've went on a little long enough. I want to hear what you guys think, what I had to say, and what I have been feeling recently. So I'm just tired of this.